Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another battle to the death for you. Today we have the Benchmade Freek 560BK-1, better known as the Super Freek, versus the Benchmade Griptilian 550-1. Both of these knives very, very similar in price. Both, I think, if you're looking for a higher end Benchmade in this slightly below $200 range, you're looking at like $187 for the Griptilian, about $191 for the Super Freek. These are two you're going to be comparing. So I thought this would be a good comparison to do. I've had the Super Freek for a while. I was without a full-size Griptilian for a bit. We'll explain why as we get into stuff when we talk more about the knives individually. But I think these are two that you really would think about. So I'm going to go through this. We're going to have my usual 7 categories, which, by the way, are design and aesthetics, quality, blade, ergonomics, carry, deployment, and value. Get a point for each one you win. At the end, pick a winner. And there is a winner in this one. I will say it's close, but there was a winner in this one. So I have done ties before and you guys get upset. There's no tie, so stick around and I will definitely pick a winner. So let's start out and talk about the Super Freek. So why do we call it the Super Freek? Well, the regular Freek has these kind of weird rubbery handles and S30V steel. This one has just normal old G10. It's not normal old G10. It's actually a pretty G10. And M4, which is not something you see horribly often on regular production knives. This happens to be a first production one, but you see it on like sprint runs and stuff, but this is just a regular thing that Benchmade makes all the time. M4 steel is available on a lot of their knives in the custom shop. So it's a steel they're working with quite a bit, and they do a pretty good job with it, and very happy to see it on this. And that's kind of its little party piece. Specs wise, we have an overall length of 8.45 inches, blade length of 3.6 inches, blade thickness pretty thin, 0.11 inches, handle thickness 0.62, little thick, weight of 4.3 ounces. Neither of these are screaming lightweight knives, but just an overall good EDC size. We'll set that aside for a moment, bring out the Griptilian. Yeah, the Griptilian, it's come out in so many versions. I forgive you if you don't know all of them. I don't either. Every time somebody sends me something, they always seem to throw in a Griptilian for me to try out that I've never seen before. So there are a bazillion. They are killing a lot of them off. Benchmade did discontinue several of the Griptilian models. Not this one, as far as I can tell. It has not been announced as discontinued. It's out of stock in a couple places, but it's in stock most places. And 20 CV steel you're getting in this one, also a great super steel. And these really, really nice G10 handles. I am not a fan of the Grivery Grivery fancy plastic Griptilians. I'm just not. I've had a couple. I've tried to keep them. I always let them go. But I really like this. Also not a fan of the mini Griptilian. This does come in a mini size. The Super Freek does not. I wish it did. But I really like it in this size. I like the full size with this G10. This is definitely my favorite configuration of Griptilian. By far, you have this nice deployment hole instead of a thumb stud. The only thing that's upsetting is they're not hollow ground anymore. So they're all just flat ground. It's fine, I guess, but the hollow grind ones were really, really nice. And I do wish they still did that on the sheep's footies. I can't find when they stopped doing that, but I know I had one. So I don't remember what steel it was in. I'm pretty sure it was the 20 CV mini grip I had was hollow ground. This one is not. So I really, really do wish that it still was. But really handsome looking knife. I really like the look of the blue and the gray. Great color combo. It's not really going to offend anybody. Just really, really do like that. So let's do some stats, and then we will get to our scoreable categories. We have an overall length of 8.1 inches, just a little bit shorter. Blade thickness 0.12, just a little bit thinner. Handle thickness is 0.61, so also just a hair thinner. And a weight of 4.2 ounces, so just a hair lighter. Now, let's own the blade length. I think I skipped that. 3.5 inches on the blade length. I'm sorry. I think I skipped that, but we're not going to go back and start over that, are we? Scoreable categories here. Design and aesthetics. This is the most subjective category. And I'm going to admit that I am just being unfair to the Super Freek here. In that I think it looks great. I think it looks cool with the black blade and all that. I don't like black blades. I just don't. And the G10 looks amazing. The red inner layer looks great. That's all really cool. But also, so does the blue in this. This still looks cool. It's gray, and it doesn't have a coated blade. So I had to penalize the Super Freek somewhere for that coated blade. And this is the category I chose to do it in. So apologize for that if you like the way it looks better. It is a great looking knife, but you can only get it in the coated blade. There are no non-coated options, so got to give it to the Griptilian. Quality. This one is obviously a tie. They're both made by the same company in the same factory, same screw quality, all that stuff, same quality control, all that stuff. They're the same. We can just kind of breeze past this category. It's just obviously the same. It gets that way sometimes when I do these little sibling rivalry ones. Blade. Blade, if this was still the hollow grind, it would be closer, but since it isn't, it's got to be the Super Freek. It's thinner blade stock. It's a little thicker behind the edge, 22 thousandths behind the edge versus 21 thousandths behind the edge for this. So it's the tiniest little amount that you're probably not going to notice. Edges from the same thing. But at the end of the day, this is M4. I want to penalize it again because it's coated, but I know why they coat it. They coat it because M4 steel is not at all rust resistant, and they're trying to protect us from ourselves, but I don't like it. The coating is very, very good. I will say it doesn't wear I use this thing, and it's as soon as I clean it off, it looks fine again. So I haven't really scratched it yet. There are a couple scratches on there that probably aren't going to show up. There are some ones going this way across there. I don't know if they show on the camera, but people always actually, whenever I show this, say, "You never even use that thing. It's not scratched up." No, it's just really good coating. I do actually use it. I'm not a heavy duty user, so I can't really comment on that, but I do use it, and it holds up well. But at the end of the day, this is just a thinner slice of your blade, and it's freaking M4. Both very useful blade shapes. You just have your kind of basic drop point with the Super Freek, sheep's foot, which I like sheep's foot blades. I do wish that the grind went higher on the Griptilian, but yeah, and I like 20 CV steel a whole lot too, but M4 is just kind of rare, so you have that little bit of rarefied air. It holds an edge forever. 20 CV ain't no slouch. It's amazing. It's basically M390, but yeah, gotta go with the Super Freek for the blade. Now, under ergonomics, this one's really tough because they're both excellent. The Griptilian has been known forever for great ergonomics. I have not always agreed with that on the FRN models, the Grivery models, whatever you want to call it, with the plastic handles. But on the G10, yeah, they're excellent. I still think they're a bit jimp-tastic. I think there's a bit more jimping than you really need on there, but they work really well, and they're very comfortable in the hand. But Super Freek is just that bit better. It's not night and day better, but it is just that bit better. I don't know, just the shape of the handle, where the pocket clip lies, all that. It works extremely well. And got to give the win in ergonomics barely to the Super Freek. You're not going to be disappointed with either. Carry. So this one has a slight bit of a caveat because the 550-1 comes with the Benchmade deep carry pocket clip. These used to be free, so I would have never complained at all. Just call them and ask for another one. They're not anymore. They're $5 or something like that, but they take a little while to get to you. But it's fine. It's still a very reasonable price if you want a deep carry clip. But when you get the deep carry clip, put it in the old Dickies, which we're still not making a joke about. These Dickie work pants. Yeah, nice deep carry clip, works really well. You just have that nice tasteful little, it's bright blue, but if you're carrying jeans, nobody's going to notice. Pretty easy to get your hand past. Probably be better if I just move this out of the way for the moment. Pretty easy to get your hand past. And you can see, it doesn't take up a whole crap ton of room in the pocket. It's perfectly fine to carry. The handle is very thick on both of these, but that doesn't really usually bother me very much in day-to-day. As long as the pocket clip's in the right place, it doesn't really bother me that much if the handle's a bit thick. In the Super Freek, though, this is the clip that it comes with, which is fine. It's the, I think they call it the split arrow clip. Other people have another more juvenile name for it. but it works fine. It's completely fine, but it does sit up higher. It is technically a bit heavier, but it's just, this isn't a huge win. It's really honestly just because the 550-1 comes with a deep carry clip. This does not. I do have one for it. I have one of the vulcanized ones that I took off to do this review. Normally it lives its life with this clip on it. I got it in one of the last days of when you could still get Benchmade clips for free. But I'm perfectly willing to pay the $5 or whatever it is they charge for them. You know, that's completely fine. So I have to give the win to the Griptilian for carry. Deployment. Same locking mechanism. Both have access locks. Both work about the same as far as drop shuttiness. They're both about the same. This one is extremely well broken in. The Griptilian not as much. I haven't had it as long. But I have to give the win to the Griptilian on this, just because this particular blade shape. Now you used to be able to, I'm not sure if you even still can, get the 20 CV with a thumb stud deployment with a different blade. But with this, especially the sheep's foot one with the deployment hole, I like that better. I'm always going to. I like thumb studs, they're great, but deployment holes are even better. You get to, you know, spidey flick it, all that kind of stuff. And it's just more fidgety options than the thumb studs give. Action-wise, like I said, they're both exactly the same. I've torn them both apart. I've done my little thing to both of them. So I know they're pretty equal as far as that goes. Like I said, this is a bit more broken in, but smoothness, they're pretty much even. And I just like the deployment hole better. So for deployment, I'm going to give the edge to the Griptilian. So what it comes down to is value. And value-wise, this 7 months ago, I'm just throwing out a number, probably 7-8 months ago, not even a year ago, this Griptilian 20 CV for $187 would have been a good value. It still kind of is, but now you're getting stuff like the Hogue Deca and other knives that are coming out with 20 CV, M390 and stuff like that in the mid to lower 150 range, and you know, as much as like $40-50 less expensive. So it's just not the mind-blowing value that it used to be. The M4 steel on the Super Freek, like I said, is still kind of the realm of sprint runs. It's not something you see every day. And you do on this, literally. You can buy it every day. They're available lots and lots and lots of places. You can just go buy one. And it's really cool that Benchmade's done that Benchmade's brought M4 into the mainstream. And I do really, really like that. It's a genuine super steel, holds an edge forever. So value, have to go to the Super Freek. And yeah, the scales are a bit fancier. You can add some value to that. They are layered and all that. But yeah, value has to go to the Super Freek. So what we have is a 3-3 with one tie, but value is always the tiebreaker. I've always said that in all my battles to the death. Value is always the tiebreaker. And value-wise, Super Freek. And that's honestly how I feel about these two. I really do. I own both of these. I have no plans on getting rid of either of these. But I like them both a lot. But yeah, gun to my head, I would probably keep the Super Freek. But not by a whole lot. Yeah, I like them both a lot. I think that's a very accurate result of how I really feel about these two knives. Sometimes I do these scoreable category things and stuff comes out in ways that I don't want because emotions and all that stuff. But these two, no, that's exactly right. That I love them both, but gun to my head, I'd barely choose the Super Freek. So hope you guys have enjoyed this, especially if you're Benchmade shoppers looking for an expensive, semi-expensive Benchmade. You can go crazy with Benchmades now, but a quasi-expensive Benchmade. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.